Great, I think that's recording. This is my first video ever in the history of videos. First and foremost, my name is T, and over here at Spicy Sweet Tea. And I have decided to start vlogging my experience with weight loss surgery. My hope is, as time goes on, to share with you about my experiences, both good and bad, the challenges, the struggles, as well as the victories. I have recently decided to get weight loss surgery, which is something that I've been watching a lot of videos about in order to hear about other people's experiences and know what to expect. And I found them really, really helpful. So I decided that I would do the same, both for other people who might be going through something similar or who are thinking about going through something like this, as well as just for my own accountability and to document my own progress as it unfolds. Great. We'll jump right into it. So again, my name is T, and I'm so excited. I have recently decided to get weight loss surgery. And this is something that I have been thinking about for some time, but finally made the leap and pulled the trigger. And I will tell you a little bit about how that came to be. So I am 31 years old, and I have struggled with weight and really sugar addiction and binge eating for really my whole adult life. It started in high school. I was a dancer on the dance team, and I had always been the largest one on the dance team, even though, I'm 5'7", and I was 145 pounds. As a dancer, that's still, pretty thick, pretty curvy. And so I was really aware that I was the biggest one on the dance team. And in my junior and senior year of high school, I actually was engaging in pretty regularly, consistently, bulimic behaviors. My senior year of high school, I was hospitalized for bulimia, and I stopped puking after that hospitalization. So I really have never puked since on purpose. I mean, when I was sick and stuff. But I've never puked on purpose, really, since hospitalization. So I guess in that way, the hospitalization was a success. However, the 3 years that followed, so the first 3 years of undergrad in college, I gained about 30 pounds every year because I was no longer puking at my food, and I was still eating a lot of food. So I gained about 95 pounds. Or 90 or so pounds. I went from 145 my senior year of high school to 235 pounds. And that is my biggest adult weight that I have ever been in my life. And then my senior year of college was really my first stab at dieting, which would many, many years of different dieting plans and attempts would come after that. But in undergrad, my senior year of undergrad, so I would have been 21, 22 at the time, I joined Weight Watchers for the first time, and I actually pretty successfully lost 35 pounds. But I, at that point, I would say, was working out pretty excessively. I was working about 3 hours or so a day, pretty vigorously on the elliptical, and didn't really change my eating habits much. Really just worked out a lot, and so was still eating pretty unhealthily. And when you're in college, you have, at least in the college I went to, we had this giant cafeteria, and so you have access to all of this food. And I remember, going back, for seconds and thirds, and would have 5 desserts on my plate. Every lunch and every dinner, and so just really not great eating habits, to say the least. It was exciting, though, to lose 235 pounds. I'd be dead at that point. To lose 35 pounds, I got down about 200. And for really the years that followed, my weight really yo-yoed. I would get up to like 215 and then lose another 15 pounds, back to 200, get up another 10 pounds, lose, go back down to 190. And that was, I actually made a list of, I don't know if you can see that, but I made a list of all the different attempts that I have tried, and this is what contributed to the yo-yoing. So I named Weight Watchers. I've also tried Nutrisystem. I've tried Omato, which is like a weight management program. It's like a 16-week program. It used to be called Prevent, and it was for people who were overweight to lose weight and gain a healthy lifestyle, and I was unsuccessful in that. I think primarily because one of the components was weighing yourself every day, and that really backfired on me. When I weighed myself every day, if I even gained like 0.4 of a pound, or even if I wasn't losing weight, I would be like, fuck it, I'm done. This isn't working. And then I'd feel shameful that I wasn't losing weight, and you're in this group with a bunch of other people and you can see their numbers going down, and so just seeing them lose as I wasn't, and potentially gaining, a pound or something, just made me feel more like crap. And my cycle, that sort of leads to weight gain, is like I'll set some restrictions, which I don't think helps anybody, but I'll set some restrictions and then I'll violate those restrictions because of cravings or emotional eating or compulsive eating, or I just really like carbs. So I would eat after I had set this limit of myself, and then I'd feel like crap, like physically feel like crap, because I think I have an allergy to sugar. I really feel inflammation in my body, as well as high yeast, and so high likelihood of yeast infections, and so then I'd feel like crap physically, I'd feel like crap emotionally, and then how would I deal with that, emotional dis-ease? I would eat some more. And so it was this, vicious cycle: eat, feel like crap, eat in order to not feel like crap, which is like temporary, feel like crap, over and over and over again was my cycle. So Omato, the weight loss program, just like added to that. It was horrible. I've also tried keto and the Atkins diet. I actually really liked keto, but I was really busy at the time and was living alone, didn't have enough time to make recipes, and I would make kind of the same thing every single day, and I kind of got sick of it after a while. I kind of got bored with it. But I really liked keto. I also have seen a binge eating disorder therapist for an extended period of time. I've tried things like phentermine, dextroamphetamine, B12 shots. Most recently, so like maybe 6 months ago, was prescribed Prozac. And what I've learned about medications is I have a high sensitivity to medication side effects. And I also, I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle, and I'm trying to be more natural, just all around. And for me, I think medications can help some people, but for me, I just don't want to be reliant on medications for the rest of my life. When I first was on phentermine, or was it dextroamphetamine? Maybe it was dextroamphetamine, both of those curb appetite. And but dextroamphetamine gave me horrible night terrors, and I would wake up thinking that there was like a man in my bedroom, and I would just scream and panic. I started sleeping with like a knife next to my bed because I would get so scared. I still have bear spray next to my bed, and all of that came out because I would just wake up really thinking that someone was in my room, that I saw a figure or I heard a figure. So when I told my doctor that, they then prescribed me trazodone. And for the last 3 years, I hadn't been able to get off of trazodone. I was addicted to trazodone for sleep. I am now off of trazodone. I'm actually off all medications, and that feels really great to me. I know that after surgery, I'm going to be on some medications again, like Prilosec, for example, for heartburn. I know heartburn is a big thing. But that feels more okay to me than being on some stimulant that revs my revs my sympathetic nervous system. So I named Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Omada, dextroamphetamine, phentermine, Prozac, keto, and Atkins, a binge eating disorder therapist individually. I also joined a binge eating disorder group, like a support group, and attended that for some time. I've also tried Overeaters Anonymous, and am just not a huge fan of the 12-step programs. I've also seen a behavioral health therapist with my health insurance, and did not like her. It was not a great fit. I see an individual therapist on and over the past on and off, over the past 5 years or so. Sometimes going weekly, sometimes once a month. Her specialty is not in binge eating disorder, but it's really been helpful because what is kind of at the root of my eating issues is really coping with stress. That food for my lifetime has been like my best buddy. It is always there for me. It's a really quick temporary fix to stress and anxiety. Yeah, it's a coping skill. Ultimately, a bad one, of course, at that. So that's why just my normal regular therapist has been helpful, because we've been trying to figure out other coping skills and ways to be able to tolerate discomfort rather than having to stifle it through eating food and sugar. Some other things that I've tried is my work also. I work at a university, and my work has a weight management, healthy eating group. I think it was a 6 or 8 week group that I attended all of. And I found that pretty helpful. But again, none of these things have really been sustainable for a number of reasons. I would say one of the most successful things that worked for me is I got into yoga a few years ago, and liked it so much that I actually did a yoga teacher training, a 200-hour yoga teacher training. And as a requirement for that training, I would have to attend 5 yoga classes per week. So I was going to yoga pretty much every day. And at that time, I was also eating keto. And so I dropped a lot of weight. I got down to 175, I think, but that was 3 years ago. And since then, I had wrist surgery. I really messed up my wrist. I don't know if you can see. There it is. See that scar there? Reversing. First time video. But I had a cyst removed because I really messed up my wrist. And I couldn't really do plank pose. I couldn't do any, poses where you were like this. And I really still cannot, even though it's been a year since my wrist surgery, I still cannot. And I think, stopping doing yoga, I backslid. So, here I am today at 200 and, on the scale, 225, 226 pounds or so. And that puts my BMI, I'm 5'7", that puts my BMI at 34.9 or 35-ish. And so I decided that I was going to, I did not want to live anymore as a fat person, that I have exhausted all of my options, and did some research on my options, and had decided that the balloon, the Orbera, there's a new one, a double balloon called Reshape, that was something I was interested in. And so I had called around in my area, and there was a woman who seemed very nice. Her name is Dr. Katie Irani. I'm actually getting my surgery from her as well. But when I first went in, I thought I was going to get the balloon. And I went in because the balloon is more for people who are not morbidly obese, but are still obese and overweight. And that's really where I fall. So, my BMI is still pretty low comparatively to some people who get the surgery done. It's still a lot of excess weight for me. And I do not like it. I can't even, my stomach is so big that it's difficult to bend over and tie my shoes. It's difficult to take hikes. Whenever I hike with my partner, we just went on a camping trip, and we hiked through, Arches National Park and Canyonlands National Park in Moab, Utah, and I was stopping every 4 or 5 steps. These hikes were uphill, a lot of them, but I was just huffing and puffing. I could not breathe. And I'm used to altitude. I live in, a mountain town in Colorado. And yeah, I hated it. I hated that I couldn't breathe, hated that I couldn't walk. I just am low energy. So even though my BMI is like relatively low, I still very much feel the effects of the extra weight. So anyway, back to Orbera and Reshape. They are for people with lower BMIs, but who are still overweight. And so I went in and I talked to Dr. Irani, and she said, "Oh, have you ever considered surgery?" And I said, "I didn't think that I qualified. I thought you had to have a higher BMI." And she said, "Well, it depends on how you're paying for the surgery. If you go through insurance, usually there are different specifications." And when I called my insurance company, that was a BMI of 35 and a comorbidity. And so comorbidity could be like sleep apnea, diabetes, arthritis. I don't have any of those. I have no comorbidities. I am relatively healthy, except for being overweight. And so I didn't qualify with my health insurance. And so I went back home after that appointment, and I just researched the heck out of the gastric sleeve surgery. Gosh, I don't even know the name. VSG. Vertical sleeve gastronomy. I'll have to look that up before I get the surgery. I really know how to pronounce that. But I looked it up and I thought, oh, this looks great. It's permanent. It's long term. I called her back and spoke with her more to learn more about the process. And then we got the ball rolling. I decided that felt like a great fit to me. This is something that, again, I had been thinking about for a long time. I think, but 3 years ago, I was maybe 215 pounds, and I had called my insurance company at that point, and I was on a different insurance then. I called them and I asked about weight loss surgery, and they said I didn't qualify. I kind of let it go at that time. And then again, a year ago, I called my new insurance company and asked about it, and that's how I knew that I also didn't think that I qualified. Talking to Dr. Katie Arani, I called again more recently, just within the last week or two, just to be sure. And I don't qualify for insurance coverage, but have some money in my savings, so I will be paying out of pocket. And looked into going to Mexico and Tijuana. There's some great videos on YouTube of people who had really positive experiences with doctors in Tijuana, Mexico. But it doesn't feel like a good fit for me. One of the things that I get in working with my surgeon is I get lifelong support with a dietitian as well as with the surgeon. Even, if they transition out of their role to another, place, I still get to work with the medical center. So if there's any complications, if I begin to gain, even 5 pounds, over what I'm comfortable with and what I like, then I can go back in, talk to the dietitian, we can do sort of an overhaul. And I really like that. I really like that they're available. I love my doctor so far. She is so kind, so patient, ready to answer all of my questions. It's just been a really great experience so far. So, those are some of the reasons why I am getting the sleeve. I'm really excited. I'm super excited. So excited. It's looking like, my surgery date will be in the next couple weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks. It's moving pretty fast, and that's on purpose. Like I said, I work at a university, and I get summers off, and so I go back to work August 15th. And when I went in and met with Dr. Irani, I had asked, is it realistic if I decide to move forward? Is it realistic that I could be recovered, the 2 weeks of recovery time where you're on just liquid diet after the surgery? Is it realistic that I could get that done by August 15th or August 14th when I go back to work? And she said it was, that she would help work to make that happen. And she has. In my next video, I will talk more about what I've gone through so far. but I just wanted to let you all know what I'm doing, and I am really excited to share this journey with you. I'm excited to be going on this journey, and gosh, I'm so pumped. You know, it's video 1. This is my first time ever videoing, ever putting a video up on YouTube, and you know, that kind of feels big. It also, the surgery feels really big. This decision feels really big. My life from here is going to change drastically, so much, and I am so excited. I'm so excited. So, if you're interested, please join me on the journey. You can subscribe to my channel for updates, and I don't know what else to say other than woohoo, you know? It's going to be hard at times, I'm aware. People are pretty candid in their other YouTube videos, but I'm really excited. So, I think that's all for now. I'm going to make another video about what I've gone through so far. I'm going to do it right after this one, in fact, so you can watch that if you want to. Okay, take care, y'all. Bye.